All right, the time is 7 o'clock. I will call to order the regular meeting of the Lansing City Council for October 27th, 2025. One quick housekeeping note. Item 20 will be moved to the next council meeting. We've not been provided information as a body for the financial information. We've also received an email from the code department, which I will hand out right now, of the status of the property. We have not, they have also not seen everything that they need. So we need, there's also members that have questions. So this will be moved to the November 10th council meeting. And then with that, we are on to the roll call. Mr. Clerk.
Councilmember Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Carter.
Here.
Councilmember Garza.
Here.
Councilmember Hussein.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Present.
Councilmember Cost.
Here.
Councilmember Pelivanoglu.
Present.
Councilmember Spatafor. There are 8 members present, a quorum. We are to the meditation and pledge of allegiance.
Okay, do we have anyone that we want to remember tonight? Councilmember Hussein.
Yeah, I have a few. Actually, I think we missed an opportunity on the 29th to recognize one person. And then I apologize, but I was not at the last meeting as I was dealing with an illness. But we did lose Mr. Terry McCain on September 22nd. And as you all know, he spent a couple decades servicing the city of Lansing as a city council person, as a mayor. Prior to that, he had quite a bit of time in the classroom as an instructor. And so I certainly wanted to recognize his passing and ask that we keep his family in our thoughts and prayers, particularly his wife of 56 years, Miss Virginia. Also, we lost recently on October 4th, Miss Norma Bauer, and a lot of folks know her as Pilgrim Norma. If you knew Norma, you would you knew she was a pit bull, essentially for social justice. Had a lot of conversations with Norma. She changed my mind on a lot of things, helped me kind of evolve over maybe the past 10 years, my understanding of how to really get into the community and engage and make things happen. And she was always there. She was a constant presence, whether that be constituent meetings, whether that be cleanups. I mean, you name it, she was there. And so we certainly will miss Miss Norma Bauer. I ask also that you keep her family in your thoughts and prayers. And then lastly, and this one was very, very shocking, I think, for me, for many folks across South Lansing, Mr. Carl Fangboner passed unexpectedly on October 7th, 2025, this past year. October 7th. Mr. Fangboner, he, again, so many educators that we have lost recently, but he spent a lot of time in a fourth grade classroom, as well as his wife, who was a music educator. But just a great, great, great community advocate, champion, particularly for the Churchill Downs neighborhood. But his advocacy didn't, begin and stop there. So obviously he worked to advance the entire city of Lansing. He was another constant when we talk about beautification efforts, when we talk about neighborhood meetings. I would run into him at meetings such as Make Safe or Demolish hearings, things of that nature. I mean, he was there and he was involved. And so we ask that you keep his family in your thoughts and prayers, particularly his wife of 57 years, Miss Jeannie Fangboner. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else? Seeing none, can we rise for a moment of silence followed by meditation? Thank you.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have for approval the council proceedings of October 13th.
Vice President Carter.
I'll make a motion to approve October 13th minutes as presented.
Okay, proper motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we're to special ceremonies and presentations. We have the 2025 Citizens Academy graduation.
Fantastic. If the Citizens Academy folks want to come on down here into the well, meet me down there. If I will pass the gavel over to Vice President Carter. right. So, we have for everyone here, I will just open the first one, your recognition for serving on the Citizens Academy. It is very appreciated. All of you have gone through this. If you don't remember me, I was the one that was tagging along at the sewer plant. I probably had some jokes along the way, but that was a great tour. I know that you guys worked incredibly hard. I got to sit here and answer your questions along with other council members. And so we appreciate that you've done all this hard work and you've come through the Citizens Academy to understand how city government operates. And we very much appreciate your involvement and curiosity in city government. Perhaps one day it'll be one of you up here. So I am going to give folks their awards. I'm going to butcher some names here, I'm pretty sure. Raven. There you go. Congratulations. Michael? Okay, so we don't have Michael. Rochella? Rochella. Close, sorry. And then Allison. Let me make sure I've got the right one because we have, yep.
Thanks so much.
Yep, and then I have JD.
Thank
Yes, sir. And then Kendall. There you go. Congratulations. If one of you want to say something, you're more than welcome to at the microphone. If not, we're done.
Thank you.
All right, our next special ceremony is the appointment of Chris Klein as the city representative to the Downtown Lansing Inc. Board of Directors.
I've got Councilman Garza.
All right, thank you, Council President. Good evening. Do we have Chris in the audience today? Yes. Okay. Chris, if you'd like to come on down. So the Development and Planning Committee meeting met on October 22nd. And obviously tonight we're looking at appointing Chris Klein as a city representative to Downtown Lansing, Inc. Chris has more than 14 years of hands-on experience in community and economic development. He now serves as the president and CEO of the Lansing Economic Development Corporation, which I've witnessed him out there washing windows recently. It's nice work, Chris. Under his leadership, hundreds of new housing units are being built downtown, bringing more people into the fold and supporting our local businesses. He's focused on bringing life to the riverfront, improving public infrastructure, and building up entertainment and gathering spaces that make downtown a place that people want to be. So Chris understands the importance of having a strong mix of residents, workers, and corporate partners and state government right here in Lansing. His commitment to the city and the people who live and work here will be a real asset to Downtown Lansing, Inc. And with that, I would move the resolution.
Proper motion in place. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations, Chris.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as a Downtown Lansing Inc. board member
as a Downtown Lansing Inc. board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
All right, congratulations. Step right over there and sign those. And we are to the appointment of Jeremy Matthews to the South Martin Luther King Corridor Improvement Authority.
And that's Councilman Garza. Jeremy, if you want to come on down to the well, too.
All right, thank you, Council President. Jeremy, like the name, we've met October 22nd at the Development and Planning Committee. I really like his energy he brought before the committee. Jeremy Mr. Matthews manages over 200 units on MLK, identifies safety issues, low walkability, and economic challenges for the residents. The board and committee discussed the need to reduce overrepresented liquor stores, payday advances, and fast food businesses, and wants to promote higher paying jobs and diverse businesses. Matthews committed to community engagement, improving the corridor walkability, and supporting local business development. And with that, I would move the resolution for him.
Proper motion. Any further discussion? Councilmember Hussein.
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity to say, man, I was blown away, Jeremy, in committee with regard to your interview. Clearly you have a vision for that corridor. And I think it includes, so many of the things Councilman Garza talked about, but blight elimination, improvements in terms of the built environment, traction and, I think, retention of good reputable businesses, going after maybe some of those predatory establishments. And what I really appreciated was just the sincere interest in making this, a corridor that can truly be the lifeblood for South Lansing, and enhance livability. Also, and I said this in committee, but continue to be impressed with this notion that our MLK corridor should be a testament to the legacy and the life that MLK lived, and that we really should be able to serve as a model for the rest of the country, because frankly, so many communities have under-prioritized their own MLK corridors. So just blown away in terms of that interview, and very excited. He also even spoke to, I think, the importance of this particular corridor and as its unique power, maybe as an example, to be a convener of different partners with regard to that corridor and moving that corridor forward. So really, really good interview, man, and I'm excited to work with you.
And I would just echo the sentiment that they both did when you interviewed with the committee. What struck me was not only your commitment about some of those predatory places, but your own personal experience with those and the role that you play and how that affects the lives of people that you are working with as well. So you not only understand the issue, but you see it firsthand, which is vital to solving that issue. So I appreciate it. If there's nothing further, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations.
This one's long.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the
of
duties
the office of the South Martin Luther King Corridor Improvement Authority,
of the office of the South Martin Luther King Corridor Improvement Authority,
Board of Directors,
Board of Directors,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
All right, congratulations. And we are to comments by council members and the clerk.
Do we have council member comments? Councilmember Hussein.
Just one. Our next constituent contact meeting for the 3rd Ward will be November 8th. That's 10 to 12 noon at the Frieda Schmidt Southside Community Center located at 5825 Wise Road. This is post-election. We'll have a number of maybe new elected officials, as well as some that maybe will retain those seats. Also, obviously, we have an important charter question on the ballot, so we will have an opportunity to discuss the outcome of that particular question. But there's so much to talk about with regard to South Lansing, City of Lansing, in general. So we certainly hope you come. Again, I apologize. I did have to cancel with about 24 hours to go the last constituent contact meeting in October. My understanding is a few people did not get that notification, and I truly apologize. I was under the weather, and actually I was experiencing a severe lack of hearing. And it was humbling, to say the least. Certainly empathize with those that are hard of hearing and have to live with that in perpetuity. Again, very humbling experience, but I do apologize for folks that showed up. But come hell or high water, we will be meeting November 8th, I promise. Okay, so we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. And then a quick note on my contact meeting, Saturday, November 1st. I got an email late in the day today that the Allen Neighborhood Center is not available. So we're currently scrambling to find a spot. If I don't have it resolved by tomorrow morning, then we'll likely have to cancel and pick a new date to do it. But right now, the space that we typically use is not available this month. Are there any further council member Pelli-Vonnegut?
Thank you, President Cost. Just very briefly, thanks to constituents that have shown up this past year for the at-large constituent contact meetings. We had tried something new as at-large members this year and held 4 meetings throughout the city. They were held quarterly. It's my hope that that practice would continue into next year, but I'm sure you'll hear more to come about that in January. And also just a quick reminder that this Thursday evening, there is going to be a community input meeting and session regarding the Mod Pods that have been discussed. for our unhoused residents. And that is going to be at 5:30 p.m. this Thursday. I believe the location is Foster Community Center. If that is incorrect, someone please correct me. But this is capping off a series of community input sessions that have been held recently. And so this will be, again, this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. at Foster Community Center. All are invited to attend. Thank you.
And if you haven't been to the input sessions, I have been personally to two of them, and they are very good. I think it clears up a lot of questions and gives you an opportunity to ask those important questions that you may have about these mod pods and what the plan is moving forward. And it also gives a timeline. So do we have any further council comments? Councilmember Brown.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to give a thank you. I know that the other at-large members concur with this. The level of presentation we received at our at-large meeting at the new elections office by Clerk Swope, he did such a thorough job and took us all on a tour of the new location, which is located 701 West Jolly. If you get a chance, it's done with excellence, and it really encouraged my spirit to know the level of excellence and access that we want people to have when it comes to, voting and being able to be informed. So thank you for that. You really spent a deal of time and detail with us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Brown. Do we have any other comments? Okay, Clerk Swope?
Yes, thank you to the at-large members for having your event at our location. It was our first real day of having activities there. We also had early voting on that day, from noon to 4, and we had our trunk or treating was there, so it was a very eventful day. We are continuing with the early voting at the new location, 701 West Jolly. It's right at the corner of Jolly and Washington. So pretty easy to find, right on a main street. You really can't miss us. We are also actually having a ribbon cutting and a grand opening reception this Thursday, October 30th, from 11:30 until 1, with the ribbon cutting at 12:30. So I want to invite council members and the public to come and join us. It is a great new space. We're partially moved in at this point, so we'll be fully moved in shortly after the election. So we're overlapping with the Rio location and the Jolly location, with different things taking place at the different events. With that said, we are a week and a day from our city general election, so I encourage you to get out and vote, whether you vote at home, vote early, or vote election day. It's important for you to have your input in this election. We have half the city council, the mayor, the clerk's office, as well as our city charter proposal on the ballot. We have issued nearly 23,000 absentee ballots, and there are still quite a number of folks who have those ballots and have not yet returned them. So you have until 8 o'clock election night to get them to us. Again, early voting is Wednesday at Jolly Road, Wednesday from noon to 7, and then next Saturday and Sunday we'll be having early voting as well. So plenty of opportunities. Polls are open on Election Day from 7 a.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. We have, just because of the relative turnout at the polls, we have consolidated some locations. So if you've been relocated, you should have gotten a postcard in the mail. You can always go to lansingvotes.gov to double check where you vote on Election Day if you want to vote on Election Day. And with that, we are to community event announcements. If anyone in the audience has a community event, we'll give you a minute to tell us the details.
I'm Nicholas Zaney, president of the Old Everett Neighborhood Association. Our next neighborhood meeting will be on Wednesday, November 19th at the South Lansing Library on Cedar Street at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. In the meeting room. So, and also we're looking at filling in vacant positions, and I've heard from a few people, including a council member, who I'll leave nameless, that a few people are actually interested in some of those positions on the neighborhood and are interested in attending. So please consider attending if you can. Again, it's at it's on South Cedar at the South Lansing Library on November 19th at 6:30 p.m. And it's going to be the last one of our year.
Thank you. Any other community events?
Yes, not everybody's the same height here. Yes, I'd like to inform everybody that on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, October 28th, from 6 to 7 p.m., Voters Not Politicians is sponsoring a candidate forum at Faith Fellowship Baptist Church, 1001 Dakin Street in Lansing, Michigan.
Thank you. Other community events? All right, then we are to speaker registration for public comment on legislative matters. That's the blue sheet in the back. And if you wish to address the council on the public hearing on the noise permit, that's item 5, all the way up through item 21 on the agenda, 5 through 21 on the agenda. We'll give you another minute to get up and fill out a blue form with Sahand in the back. And with that, we are to the mayor's comments.
Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you very much. Just a couple items. First one is that registration for the City of Lansing's EDC's Empower program closes this Friday. This initiative provides hands-on support, technical assistance, and resources to help local entrepreneurs grow and thrive. From marketing, finance, to operations and networking, the Empower program equips entrepreneurs with tools to strengthen their business and connect with other Lansing-based small business owners. To apply, go to the LEDC website, which is lansingedc.com. Thing number 2, as you all likely know, it's been very difficult to fill all of our maintenance worker 400 positions. And to address the staffing shortages, administration and union leaders got together to think outside the box and to get these positions filled. I am pleased to report, in substitute for the mayor, that we recently entered into an MOU with the UAW regarding a maintenance worker 400 trainee program. This pilot program will allow existing seasonal workers to transition into a maintenance worker 400 trainee position, where they will continue their training, including earning their CDL-A license while working full-time. Training and the securing of their CDL must be complete within 6 months of beginning as the trainee. Upon completion of their training and with their CDL in hand, we will welcome them on as full-time maintenance worker 400s. We look forward to piloting this program with our seasonal staff and adding these badly needed positions. In other news, I'm sure you join us, especially President Costu, in our joy that Michigan Avenue is back open. And so we'd like to just thank business owners and drivers for their patience while we completed these much-needed improvements. Also, Pleasant Grove between Mount Hope and Holmes should be complete within the next few days, weather permitting. As a sneak preview, next year's planned road construction projects include continuing to replay Pleasant Grove, this time south of Holmes down to Jolly, Mount Hope from Pennsylvania Avenue east to Aurelius, and Pennsylvania just south of a well-known bridge down to Mount Hope. And for more information on any of our construction projects, go to our construction website on the public service page. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. And as a reminder, please shop and dine down Michigan Avenue right now. It's open, and those businesses would love to see you.
Okay, we are to public comment on legislative matters, and as I indicated, that includes the the public hearing on the noise special permit, Public Service Department request to allow for Lansing Avenue pump station at 1701, 1711 Lansing Avenue.
Okay, Councilmember Brown.
Thank you. They came to committee and basically requesting for 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. from November 1st, 2025 through December 2025 to ensure work gets done between Grand River and Greenwood Avenue on Saturdays at the address 1701 and 1711 Lansing Avenue.
Okay, our first speaker is, speakers have up to 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Nicholas Zandy.
Sorry, before you go on, 4:30. We had it corrected in committee to 4:30 is the time, the end time for this, sorry.
What did I just say? I said 4:30.
I thought you said 5.
No.
My hearing's
20:25.
going.
No problem.
I thought you said 5, sorry.
Okay. Nicholas Zandy, followed by Loretta Stanaway.
That was some awkward television. Seeing me tiptoe like that. Anyways, I'm gonna be here speaking on items 9 through 12 on make safe or demolish pertaining to the red tag thing. Someone actually told me that apparently the approximate number might be around 400. Don't know if that's higher or lower than that, so which is kind of yikes. I don't think that should be a good number. But having said that, this is just, again, to reiterate, something that the city should have done for years because this was piling up over the years. And yet, we still have so many of these things we gotta make safe or demolish, that we have so many of those red tags that it's honestly, like, again, like a mess that you ignore in your room. And I think that's a perfect analogy, and I think I still can run with this, just for the sake of it. But still, there are also human lives that are typically destroyed because homeowners lose their homes because of the red tags, as well as, like, people in landlord-run properties that have been red tagged. Their homes have been, like, been under, like, fire, literally, because some of them have lacked actual smoke detectors, which has led to the deaths of, like, a sophomore or a junior in high school at one point, what I remember. So what needs to be done, what should have been done this whole time is work, if it's an individual property owner, like just your average house, work with them on a particular timetable so that they can get their job done and help them out, get the materials to repair their house. If it's a landlord property, then that's when there needs to be some punishment, because landlords should not be allowed to get away with letting their property deteriorate like that to the point where it does become red tagged. So also there needs to be a bit better, more of a system for the red tagging as well. I know there's pink tag, which is the more moderate form of this, but there should also be some categories in between, like maybe green tagging for those that are just minor, yellow tagging for something that's pretty major but not a deal breaker, then pink tag or orange tag, which is in the margin where it needs to be repaired or it could end up in that category, and red tag is when there's no chance of repair and it has to be demolished. Because someone actually suggested that, and I think that's actually a creative idea that the city should consider, and I hope that there's something in the city council that can change for that. So that's all I'm going to say, and I'll yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Next, we have Loretta Stanaway, followed by Alicia Flowers. Is Loretta here? Okay, Alicia Flowers, followed by Danielle Flowers.
Good evening, Council President, City Clerk, and members of the City Council. I want to take a moment tonight to share, not just about a property, but also about the person behind it, me. I believe it's essential for you to know who I am, what drives me, and why I am committed to seeing this project through to completion. I earned my degree in interior design from Kendall College of Art and Design. Before my senior year, I was diagnosed with stage 4 multiple myeloma. It took 2 extra years to finish, and I completed a final design project from my hospital bed. I share this not for your sympathy, but because it shows who I am. Resilient, determined, and unshakably strong. The hospital became a familiar place. During one stay, my temperature rose to 107. Not a mistake, 107. Yet the same power that delivered me from that hospital bed continues to strengthen me today. the same power that would help me complete what I've begun at 108, 110 South Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Many have wondered why the restoration has taken so long. There have been several reasons: the pandemic, contractor shortages, material delays, radiation treatments, and economic setbacks. But through it all, I never stopped working. I kept moving, slowly at times, but always forward. My name is Elisa Flowers, and I am a cultivated visionary designer. I blend form, function, and psychology to inspire and support well-being. With 45 years of marriage, 5 children, and 10 grandchildren, I have a deep understanding of the connection between people and their environments. I am aware that there have been concerns about the lack of visible progress on the exterior. For now, my focus has been the interior, where we have invested already over $80,000. Because people don't live outside their homes, they live within them. Too often, renters' homes appear maintained on the outside, yet inside there are heating and plumbing issues, holes in the ceilings, and sometimes rats. We overlook these conditions because they're still running water, heat, and electricity. But that's not enough. A house should do more than function. It should nurture. Before I take my seat, I'll share something personal. I'm waiting for a result from my latest bone marrow test to see if I now have fewer than 3 myeloma cells out of 1 million. A year ago, there were 17, and at first, there were over 1 trillion. The same God who delivered me then will finish what he started. In my health, my purpose, and this project. 108, 110 MLK will take a place where safety will be a place where safety, sustainability, healing, creativity, and community thrive together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
I apologize.
Just a second.
I apologize. We have to hold our clapping, please. We try to maintain decorum for all folks that are here in this meeting, and to be fair, not to intimidate anyone that may or may not be at this meeting. So please hold your applause. I appreciate very much the respect that we're going to show each other tonight.
And next we have Danielle Flowers, followed by Imani Flowers.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Flowers. I didn't have too much to say. I am the legacy of Elisa Flowers. I'm a part of the legacy. I am one of 5 children. And I have literally, this has been an ongoing project, but as she had stated earlier, I've literally watched God raise my mom from the dead. So I'm just asking that you guys give her grace, and I believe that if you continue to walk with her and watch her, if you even step foot inside of the house, you will see that inside of the house it's been restored and that it's safe. So I support my mother, and I believe that you should not demolish the house.
Thank you. Next is Imani Flowers, followed by Tracy Edmond.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Imani Flowers, and I want to take a moment to talk to you about something that goes beyond bricks, paint, and property lines. Today, we're here to talk about 110, 108 South MLK, but what we're really talking about is vision, perseverance, and the value of seeing past appearances. When you look at a house, especially one that's been standing for a long time, you might notice cracks, chipped paint, or worn edges. It might look rough on the outside, but just like people, what's outside doesn't always show the full story of what's inside. That's what this place represents to me. Behind those walls, there's a history, there's love, there's effort, and there's purpose. And for me, there's memories of watching my grandma pour her time, energy, and money and heart into something she believes in. I've watched her work countless hours, not because she saw what there was, but what could be. Reversing this MSD order isn't just about saving a building, it's about saving a vision. It's about believing that just because something looks like it needs work doesn't mean it's not worth it. It's about giving space for dreams to take root again, the same way my grandma has done. Communities aren't built by tearing down everything that looks imperfect. They're built by people who care enough to restore, rebuild, and reimagine. That's what 110, 108 South MLK deserves, and that's what my grandma work stands for. So I ask for you to see this not as a structure that's failing, but as a symbol of resilience, a home for hope, for history, and for the kind of dedication that builds real change from the inside out. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Tracy Edmond, followed by James Carter.
Hello. My name is Tracy Edmond. I am the pastor of Walk in Truth Ministries, 505 Seymour Avenue. I am blessed and privileged to be Alicia's pastor. I thought about what I might say, because I don't write anything down half the time, and I know that you have been gracious with this particular property, but I'm asking you to dig a little deeper and to show a little bit more mercy here. $80,000 is a lot of money, okay? I think that we need to do more for the people of Lansing. We need to fight for each other. Alicia is a servant. She's a servant. I'm a servant. I stood by her at the One Faith Community Outreach event on our street, and I watched her pray for people. I watched her feed the hungry. I watched her clothe the naked. I watched her even pray for you, our city council. Pray for our government. She doesn't care if you're not in agreement with her, she'll still pray for you. I am only here to bear witness to her heart. Okay, so y'all know me, I was here, 2 months ago? And I told you that I am a shepherd, and a shepherd ought to smell like the sheep. So I'm here to stand with this family. And I want you to think about this opportunity. I know you've made a decision, but you can change your mind. I sit on boards. It just takes emotion. And then you look at each other and say, hey, is this worth it? Is she worth it? What are we really here for? Sometimes we get lost in the routines of these things and, oh, we gave her enough time, but aren't you glad God ain't like us? What if he said, you know what, we gave him enough time, or we gave her enough time? It's just a building, but it's her dream. Let her finish her dream. Let her build this thing. She's beat cancer. She's raised children. She's served this community. She's done a lot. And all it takes is just a decision. Boards can change their mind. Yes, they can, if they're willing and if they want to. I'm asking you to change your mind about this property. I've been over there. The roof is on there. She's got windows in there. At first, it was a little rough because, you start working with people who don't know what they're doing, who promise you this, that, and the other. A lot of times, people take advantage of women. But she's getting it together. Her church community is behind her. We need you to be behind her. I'm asking you to be behind her. The Bible says, he that hath mercy shall obtain it. So we're asking you to extend some mercy. I thought I was coming here today to get this thing settled, and I guess it was postponed. I pray that that's the Lord, because I know what the word says. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. And we're hoping that this time is going to be in her favor and give you a little bit more time to ask the questions that you didn't get to ask. So please do this for the Flowers family. Don't turn away from them. They need you now. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I get you to say amen?
Thank you.
You won't say amen? Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Next is James Carter, followed by Kenneth Fuentes.
Good evening. I'm James Carter. I'm actually the owner and project manager for the engineering company, the AE company, that did the structural design and structural work that needed to be done at the address for Mrs. Flowers. I can tell you right now, we spent probably a good 60 days going through the home and figuring out where the structural deficiencies were and what we needed to do to structurally to solidify structural and make that home strong and make that home safe, because the purpose of the red tag process is to make homes safe, structurally sound and safe. It's not just to tear them down because they've been on the list for so long. For instance, we came up with 10 foundation supports that need to go into the building. They have been built, and that's not cheap. We came up with sistering, joists, and adding and taking out old beams that were deteriorated, and that has been done. We came up with design strategies to how can I say this to make it so everybody understand? To shear up the walls. We did that. That was done. We came with how to reinforce the firewalls that were already there. That was done. So 90% of our design that we came up with for that property has been done. And I asked the code enforcement, the building department, go inside and walk it. Have somebody who knows what structurally sound means walk the building. And I guarantee they would tell you the building is structurally sound. More structurally sound than probably any of the land bank homes that's being built right now. And I can say that because I work for the land bank as a consultant. So if you take the time and have somebody who understands what structurally safe and structural integrity of a building is, they go inside. That building is structurally sound, more structurally sound than probably any building you got on that street. So that's what I asked the city to do before when you got this another 10 days or whatever that may be, ask the code enforcement. Ask them, have you been inside with someone from the building department, John Snyder, Corey, one of those guys who know what structurally sound means. Have they been in and walked it and give their opinion, is it structurally sound? You get an answer, yes. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next is Kenneth Fuentes, followed by Carlos Speed.
Good evening. Good evening, members of City Council. My name is Kenneth Fuentes, and I'm here to stand with my friend, Elisa Flowers, on 108 South Martin Luther King Jr. What I'll say about her is she's not only my friend, but she's my family. And she told you her story, but what wasn't in the story was she was also my realtor several years ago. And she wasn't a traditional realtor because I couldn't even fill out the forms properly to sell my old house. She came in, and not only did she help me, but she helped rebuild my old house and get it ready for sale. And we did this thing from top to bottom, fixing holes, painting, the whole 9 yards. And she did that for me. What I saw and what I learned about my friend was that she finishes what she starts. No matter the obstacles that came, no matter the delay, she'll finish what she starts. So I stand with my friend and my family to ask you to let her finish what she started here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Carlos Speed, followed by Diane Bransford.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Speed. I'm here tonight to support the resolution to remove the MSD from the house located at 110, 108 South Martin Luther King Boulevard. I care deeply about this home and the history it represents, and I don't want to see it torn down. I'm asking the council to please remove the MSD and allow this house to stay. I promise you won't regret it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Diane Bransford, followed by Elijah Brock.
Good evening. My name is Diane Bransford, and I stand with this family. Elisa is my family. She's my god sister, her husband, the whole family. I've seen her work. I've seen her through her illness. I've seen the work that she has done on different occasions, and I stand here with them asking that you would consider, even pray about, reversing that MSD order on this place, on this home. The love, the work, the money, the heart that has gone into preserving this place, 108, 110 Martin Luther King Boulevard. It's worth it. It's worth all of it. And so again, I stand with this family asking that you would remove that MSD order I'm in favor that you would remove this order, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Elijah Brock, followed by Josiah Flowers.
Hello, my name is Josiah, and I am the future.
Can you pull that mic down, buddy? There you go.
Hello, my name is Josiah, and I am the future. I do not think it is cool to tear down historical buildings. I approve the resolution to remove the MSD order from 1010 to 108 South MLK. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Bonita Smith, followed by Amy Walker.
Good evening, council members. My name is Bonita Smith, and I am a resident of the city of Lansing. Alicia Flowers and the whole family is my family, and I'm here to support her in her vision to complete the renovations at 108 South Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. She is a visionary, she's very dedicated, and she is committed. And I strongly support the removal of MSD from the property. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Amy Walker, followed by Belita E. Moore.
Good evening. I am a friend of Elisa Flowers, and I am asking for the removal of the MSD at the 108-110 South Martin Luther King Boulevard location. And from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it is on a firm foundation, and I believe that it should stay.
Thank you. Next is Belita E. Moore, followed by Jacob Nicholas.
Good evening. I'm Belita Moore, and I'm fighting tears right now because I had no idea all the things that were involved in this, but I'm so grateful to be here to have a better understanding of what's going on and what my dear friend, whom I love every day, has been doing in order to continue with the vision that I watched her start and want to see her continue. So I stand in favor of the removal of the MSD for 108 and 110 MLK, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final speaker is Jacob Nicholas.
Thank you all. I'm here today in support of Alicia Flowers with the 110-108 address on MLK. I'm a firm believer of many of us here in this room are affected by the things that are happening in the city in terms of the country, in terms of inflation. $80,000 is a lot of money. I don't care which side of the bench you sit on or how much money you have. We all know that's quite a bit of money, right? We have a lot of support here today for this home, and we do believe that this house will stand firm, and we ask that you guys remove the MSD order. Thank you.
Thank you. We are to the referral of the public hearing, number 5, the noise special permit.
City operations.
All right, then we are to the consent agenda.
Vice President Carter.
Thank you, President Cost. I move the following consent agenda items as follow. We've completed 6 and 7. We'll go to the tribute in recognition of Bob Hoffman on his retirement as Public Relations Manager of Wharton Center for Performing Arts, setting a show cause hearing on orders to make safe or demolish to owners of 5210 South Washington Avenue, setting a show cause hearing on orders to make safe demolish to owners at 6255 Marywood, setting a show cause hearing for property 508 Baker, and another for setting a show cause hearing for 906 Prospect Street. Also, the nonprofit recognition for Peckham Vocational Industries, Inc., and the collective bargaining agreement, United Auto Workers, ratification of wage reopener tentative agreement.
Okay, we have a proper motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. And clerk, back to the noise, I'm sorry, that's going to be committee of the whole and placed on file, yeah. Because we are acting on it tonight.
Okay, we are to resolutions for action. Item 15, the appointment of Luke Bingaman as City Council Legislative Analyst.
Vice President Carter.
Thank you, President Koss. We had posted a position for the legislative analysis back in August. We've had the Committee on Personnel had series of candidates that we interviewed, and on October 15th, the committee decided unanimously to offer Luke Bingaman the position for the legislative analysis position. Luke was able to provide several different experiences throughout the interview process. He has years of experience conducting policy research and analysis within the Michigan State House of Representatives. He's gained lobbying and policy process with the Michigan Legislative Consultants, which is one of the top multi-client lobbying firms in Michigan. He also continued his career in policy and ensuring that people of Lansing are subject to fair policies that foster success and equality for all residents. Mr. Bingaman also began his experience at the Michigan House of Representatives working for Michigan's 4th Legislative District, representing areas of Detroit and Dearborn at the state capitol in Lansing. At that particular time, he gained valuable insight into policy work and at the state of legislative level, And then also he shared that he enjoys helping constituents who have been faced with toughest challenge and find resources that will be able to get them back on their feet and thrive in their communities. Additionally, he's worked with Michigan Legislative Consultants, which allowed him to gain experience in analyzing policies and determining how they would impact the goals of our clients and the people that we serve. So he has a great passion for our policy. He has also pursued his Master's of Public Policy at Michigan State University and also earned his undergrad degree in public policy at Michigan State University. He showed impartial judgment. He's shared his passion again for serving the people in the community. He was very self-driven, very experienced. We feel that he would be able to hit the ground running in the position. So we are working with our Human Resource Department and pending all clearance from pre-employment physical background checks that Mr. Bingaman will be starting on effective November 10th, if at the earliest. And so with that, I move the motion, or the resolution.
Okay, do we have any further comments? Council Vice President
I'm
Carter.
sorry, I also want to include that the Committee on Personnel is still conducting interviews for the internal auditor position as well.
So if you know somebody, have them apply. And with that, no further comment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we're to item 16, setting a public hearing on the Oprah District at 414 Baker.
Councilmember Garza.
Thank you, Council President. So this is setting a public hearing for creating an Oprah District at 414 Baker Street. Maximilian Boert, he attended our Development and Planning Committee meeting on October 22nd, I believe is the date. Yes, October 22nd. This building is a two-story, 4,000 square feet duplex in South Lansing. Ground floor is proposed to be commercial and upper floor residential. Project aims to stabilize the structure and preserve architectural character and prevent further deterioration. Challenges include significant structural issues estimated at over $400,000 in private investment, and there is a public hearing set for November 10th. With that, I would move the resolution.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place for a public hearing November 10th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we're to item 17, setting a public hearing on the Oprah District for 1204 South Washington.
And we We have Councilmember Garza.
Thank you, Council President. So this is another request for Oprah District at 1204 South Washington Avenue by Little Rock Adventures. The property was purchased in mid-September. The building is vacant and in poor condition. It's a two-story, 3,400 square foot property in Reeltown. The development plan is ground floor art gallery, upstairs residential unit, estimated redevelopment budget at $350,000. The Oprah District requested us to enable critical stabilization and investment. Current property taxes are approximately $9,000 per year, which the value exceeds the market value. And this project aims for certification application in quarter one of 2026. Public hearing is set for November 10th. And with that, I'd move the resolution.
Okay, we have proper motion in place for November 10th hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, item 18 is setting a hearing on SLU 1 2025 for 3011 Turner Street.
And we have Councilman Garza.
All right, thank you, Council President. So this is a special land use request for 3011 Turner Street to authorize a state licensed adult foster care home, group home. Let's see, the facility is planned for up to 12 residents, 6-bedroom house, 24-hour licensed care, not a treatment center. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. No neighborhood opposition reported, and notices sent to property owner, taxpayers within the 300 to 500 square foot radius 15 days prior. The special land use runs with the land. Permit can be revoked only for violations, and this will be a state-approved property. The public hearing is set for November 17th. With that, I would move the resolution.
Okay, we have a proper motion for a public hearing November 17th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Item 19, the noise special permit for the Lansing Avenue Pump Station that we had a hearing on earlier tonight.
Vice President Carter.
Thank you. That is correct. We had Brian Height here at Committee of a Whole, and in general, it was a pump station upgrade to the current site as part of the CSO initiative, and will meet the agreements to handle wet weather and meet conditions of the permit for the timeline to start on November 1st from 8 to 4:30. And with that, I make a motion for the resolution.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we are to ordinances for passage. We have the reconsideration and amendment to ordinance 1343. It was previously read into the record, so it's in order to reconsider, amend, and readopt.
Okay, Councilmember Hussein.
Sure, so I'm going to explain this first, and then I'll move for the reconsideration. We, on October 13th, actually, there was a ordinance that was moved and adopted that dealt with specifically Chapter 206 to adjust some requirements with regard to competitive bidding, as well as some other purchasing requirements. So there's a series of amendments baked into that. It came to our attention that the ordinance that was actually adopted had a small but incredibly important omission. Per the charter, section 3-302 deals with introduction of ordinances, and there are some requirements that are enumerated in that particular section. First, that every proposed ordinance shall be introduced in writing. Second, that no ordinance may contain more than one subject, which shall be clearly stated in its title. And third, which is subject to, or I should say the subject of this reconsideration, that the enacting clause shall be the city of Lansing ordains. And we accidentally omitted that enacting clause from the ordinance. And so I am going to move, I should say, to reconsider. And then what I will do is ask that this body consider the adoption of the amended ordinance that will actually contain, or does contain, that enacting clause. So I would move for reconsideration.
Okay, so we have a motion for reconsideration on the floor. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
All right, and then with the amended ordinance, if you look on page 1, line 7, we have in fact added the enacting clause. Again, the city of Lansing ordains. And so with that being said, I would move the ordinance.
Okay, with no further Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you. I'm just going to maintain my no vote for the reasons I mentioned back when we had the discussion, just to stay consistent. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. All right. With that, Mr. Clerk, could you please do a roll call vote?
On the ordinance as amended, Councilmember Hussein.
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson. Councilmember Cost.
Yes.
Councilmember Pelli-Vonnegut.
Yes.
Councilmember Spatafor.
Yes.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Carter.
Yes.
Councilmember Garza.
Yes.
7 yeas, 1 nay, the ordinance is adopted.
Okay. Do we want immediate effect?
Can I ask, actually, before I move for immediate effect, I do actually have a question. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So I actually asked, when this was brought to my attention, whether or not any city business would be impacted, right? So if anything in the last 2 weeks kind of came forth that dealt with this particular ordinance, the requirements baked in, because we did give it an immediate effect. And what I was told was that this actually was not effective yet because, and we know that per our city council rules and the charter, that in order for an ordinance to actually be effective, it has to be published in a newspaper of general circulation. Unless we give, and you think of ordinances that deal with health and safety, unless we actually bake into the ordinance an effective date. So I guess my question is, when we give immediate effect, what is the process thereafter to ensure that this is published as quickly as possible in a newspaper of general circulation? Because we're talking 2 weeks now, right? I guess here's my question, and I know the answer. Whose responsibility is it, number one? What newspaper do we use, number two? And should we be doing something different when we do immediate effect? If we truly want this thing to have immediate effect, or that ordinance, should we be, I don't know, using a different newspaper as an example that maybe regularly publishes? Should we make sure that we actually include a date with regard to these ordinances in terms of effectiveness? I struggle with, we sit here and we talk about effective or immediate effect, then I'm hearing that that's not necessarily the process moving. It's not exactly what happens thereafter, if that makes sense.
Who do you want to go first?
Sure. My office is responsible for publishing the ordinances. We do use the Lansing City Pulse for almost all of our publications. We strive to do them as quickly as possible, but since we don't have a guarantee that it will be adopted, we, generally for the coming Wednesday, we would send the notice to the paper the Thursday or Friday before. So with an ordinance, and we don't know that it's going to get immediate effect, so that impacts what it says. If it doesn't get immediate effect, we put the date, which is 30 days after adoption. If it does get immediate effect, we put the word upon publication in it. So we don't really know, number one, know the text, or number two, have a guarantee that it's going to pass. So generally, your ordinances are published in the paper. It would be 9 days after adoption, pretty standardly. And it would have been published this past Wednesday, but because of this circumstance, we did reach out, and they were able to pull it out of the paper so that we didn't have the confusion of it being published and not really be in effect. So, so generally, it's if it's given immediate effect, it's most likely going to be 9 days, which gives time for there's the potential for the mayor to veto and various things. So you're really kind of, to cover all circumstances, you don't want to probably publish 2 days after, because the mayor still has a couple days after that to veto it. So generally, I think that 9th day is a pretty safe time period. We know by that point that it hasn't been vetoed. We're able to review issues like this generally and make sure that the publication is good.
Okay. I wanted this body to be aware, obviously, that is the process. I wanted them to understand that when they support immediate effect, right, that it can be at least 9 days after.
Immediate
exactly.
is not.
And then, and just transparency for the public. Okay, thank you so much.
Was there a motion to do the immediate effect?
I would move for quote-unquote immediate effect.
All right, we have a proper motion in place for somewhat immediate effect. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Passes 7-1.
Okay, we are to speaker registration for public comment on city government-related matters. If you wish to address city council, please fill out a yellow form in the back in the next minute or so, if you haven't already. And with that, we are to the referral items.
Vice President Carter.
Yes, I motion that all items be considered as being read in full and that the proper referrals be made by President Cost.
Okay, proper motion in place. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we have from the city clerk minutes of boards and commissions.
Place on file.
And nonprofit recognition for Capital City Wrestling Club.
City operations.
Fireworks display license Ace Pyro for the Silver Bells celebration.
City operations.
Items from the mayor, the reappointment of Chelsea Dowler to the Capillary Transportation Authority Board.
Committee of the whole.
Orders to make safe and demolish for 810 Beulah, along with the show cause hearing.
It'll be public safety.
We have two items relative to Obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act District 323 to 327 South Washington Square.
Development and planning.
We have the collective bargaining agreement that the council already acted on tonight.
Cal, place on file.
Parks and Recreation, two items relative to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan for 2026 to 2030.
Committee of the whole.
Two items on amending Chapter 294 to encourage the retention of the top official of the fire and police departments by extending eligibility for retirement service credits.
That'll be committee of the whole.
Grant acceptance, energy efficiency conservation block grant.
That'll be ways and means.
And grant acceptance, Francis River Lot improvements.
Ways and means.
Communications and petitions. We have an item from Eric Almquist regarding the Charter Commission.
Place on file.
Claim appeal, claim number 2192, Dale Schrader for red tag violation fees at 1119 North Seymour.
The city operations.
And affidavit of disclosure, Derek Selden of the Lansing Police Department.
That'll be ethics board.
And we are to remarks by council members.
Do we have any further council member remarks? Seeing none.
Remarks by the mayor or executive.
Mr. Lawrence? Okay.
Okay, then we are to public comment on city government-related matters. We have Erica M. Robinson, followed by Carlton Evans. And speakers have up to 3 minutes to address council.
Good evening. My name is Erica Robinson. I am a resident of the 4th Ward. I am a person, not a social media post. I am a victim of a hate crime. I have been a patron of Lansing Parks and Rec since I was 8 years old. Let's, Kingsley Center, and before that, 1300 Kalamazoo was my grandmother's house, and they were my safe place until on September 6th at Let's, the last day of summer session of archery with Orr Creek Archery. I was alone at the equipment table with Barry Thackett when he showed me a noose. He said to me, "You can use this on your son," using his name. And he said, "I told you, boy," as I stood there shaking my head saying no. He had just suggested that I should lynch my child. It was shocking. It was jarring. Barry Thackett had a racist weapon in his hands. His words were racist and violent towards my child. Barry Thackett had just committed a hate crime, and my child was in the room. I had to take my child into the lobby of Let's and explain to him lynching. I watched the fear, the sadness, and confusion on his face as he asked why. A child who had been celebrated by his tennis coaches a month before by receiving their top honor, the Todd Martin Award. My child was waiting for me to finish my class as I was enduring Barry Thackett's hateful, violent racist words towards my child, the only black child enrolled in archery. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Next is Carlton Evans, followed by Heath Lowry.
Good evening, council members, city clerk. My name is Carlton Evans. I am here, well, there's a lot that I want to say and need to say. My wife cautioned me not to come in here mad and cussing everybody out. She says, Carl, if you go in there cussing people out, they're not going to be listening to you. But I am here in support of my goddaughter, who was the victim of a hate crime at Letts Community Center. She was attending an archery class there when the white male coach showed her a noose and suggested that the noose could be used to discipline her young son. She and her son are traumatized by this event. We are seeking justice. His contract with the city should be canceled. The white male coach disputes that this happened as my goddaughter describes. But I ask you this, why should she be lying? She has nothing to gain. I understand why he would lie. I also ask you, what is a good reason for a white male to show a black person a noose? There is no good reason. This is unacceptable behavior and it should not be tolerated. We are seeking justice. What are you going to do?
Thank you. Next is Heath Lowry, followed by Antoinette Short.
Good evening, honorable members of the City Council. I stand before you today on invitation of my neighbor, Erica. She shared her story with me recently, and I just found it absolutely abhorrent. For an instructor to show a noose on city property to a black woman is completely unacceptable. But I'm here sharing the weight of bringing her story to you all, and the weight of that responsibility weighs on me heavily. The noose is not a neutral object. It's a weapon of terror. It's a symbol of racial violence, and it echoes today. Billie Holiday's haunting words and strange fruit are no less powerful at this moment. And those words remind us how concrete the threat of that symbol is. It is lived trauma that goes through generations. The simple, quiet removal of instructor responsibilities from this person is not enough. He and his wife still have ownership interest in this company. I checked today with the licensing and regulatory affairs. They still have an operating relationship with our city. They operate in our facilities. And if that is allowed to continue, then we're failing our obligations as a city to our citizens to create a safe and equitable environment for everyone to thrive. Under Section 3206 of the city charter, you're given the power to investigate anything that has to do with city affairs. I invite all of you to use that power to find out the details of this situation and the details of why this business relationship is continuing. That's the least you can do to make sure that we are open and transparent with how our city functions. Ensure that organizations that we work with that benefit from our taxpayer dollars and are interacting with our citizens, making sure that they are held to the highest standards that we should ensure for everyone. This is about more than one incident. We must stand firmly against racial intimidation and ensure that public spaces are actually safe, inclusive, and free from symbols of hate. On the behalf of my neighbor and the dignity of our community, I ask you to act. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Antoinette Short, followed by Ivan Drosty.
Good evening. I am here to support Erica Robinson and my little nephew, Ethan. I watched this young man One Saturday, I brought my children as well. We had a full day or afternoon of archery. We were introduced to it. I introduced my children to it. We had a great time. It sparked an interest that I saw in this young man that he thrives. This young woman has him in drones. She has him in every single thing that she can possibly get his hands on. And he feeds on it and he eats it up. I can't imagine this young man not being able to participate in something that he is absolutely amazing at. I would love to continue and support the city of Lansing or Parks and Recs and continuing to include my children as well. Unfortunately, I will not. I would love to register them in fall classes in archery, but I will not. As long as they are still able to operate and use that platform or use their business to teach our children, I cannot continue as a citizen and as a tax-paying citizen here in the city of Lansing and support it. However, I would like to see that contract end. I don't know what it entails, but if you support Lansing and you support us moving forward and being transparent and not standing for racial people who are showing a young man, this young man has no idea what a noose is. If you are in support of that, that's very unfortunate. I really hope that you will look at this, in that contract, find someone else to replace them so that we can continue to keep showing our children different things and different avenues and different experiences. But until that happens, we cannot support the city of the Parks of Lansing for archery for the community of Leads. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Ivan Drosty, followed by David Ellis.
Ivan Drosty, Ward 3. There are a number of financial crises looming on the horizon. Due to the ongoing government shutdown, we're expected to see SNAP benefits lapse here with the changeover of the month. I think everyone on the dais probably knows better than I do just how many residents here in Lansing rely on those benefits to feed themselves and their family. We have an ongoing crisis with the unhoused here in Lansing. Just this last week, overnight temperatures dropped below freezing for the first time this year. Winter is fast approaching, and we have dozens, if not hundreds, of people sleeping in tents on the street, in their car. We need to help these folks. And, my question is really, what's the plan, right? And I've made a number of comments here at City Council over the last few months, and really they all could be boiled down to that one question, right? Which is, what is the plan? Just the other day I read in the news that healthcare premiums for those on ACA plans are scheduled to go up. I think I read that on average premiums are going up by 30%. So we have a number of financial factors that are all hitting at once. And I'd really like it if the city of Lansing could be proactive about these things rather than reactive, and to communicate what the plan is with the residents. Secondly, I'd like to address the Mod Pods a little bit. I do appreciate the community meetings that were held about the Mod Pods. I wasn't able to make the Ward 3 meeting myself. I do plan on being at the meeting on this coming Thursday. I heard some pretty good things coming out of those meetings. I also heard a few things that I was a little bit concerned about. It seemed like we're putting some criteria in place for applicants who wish to live in these homes. And it sounds a lot like the kind of old-fashioned, archaic staircase model of addressing unhoused populations, where we kind of treat them like children, and we paternalize them, and we say, well, you have to behave in a certain way in order to get housing. all the evidence indicates that that's really the wrong way to go about it, as I discussed earlier. And then one final thing, on behalf of Rent is Too Damn High, we've introduced the tenant bill of rights ordinances. We've yet to receive a full review from the city attorney on those. We feel very strongly about these 5 proposed draft ordinances, so we really would appreciate it if you could lend your insight on those and give us their feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is David Ellis, followed by Nicholas Sandy.
Hi, David Ellis, downtown Lansing resident. I am here to talk once again about Michigan Avenue. And now that the project is complete, I've been able to go down there and look at the final results, and it's about what I expected. There are fire extinguishers, fire hydrants in the bike lane. There's portions where it dumps cyclists onto the sidewalk. I'm not really here to talk about Michigan Avenue, though. I have been involved with this project for 3, almost 4 years now. I've been involved in this back since I was in the classroom of Professor Watkin, who just so happens to be here today. He was the one who actually inspired me to get on this, and the city has completely failed. They have completely failed me. I have zero faith in the city moving forward. There is nothing left for me here. This was $14.5 million that this city took and did nothing with. There's a lot of things I could do with $14.5 million. I could have designed a better road. We could have done so much for homeless. We could have done so much for so many residents. With $14.5 million, I could have gotten my sister housing so I don't have to worry where she is every night. I could have gotten cancer treatment for my roommate I'm moving in with. I could have gone to a doctor so I can figure out why I'm still having coughing fits that leave me laying on the floor of my apartment spitting up red. But instead, it was used to create something that will haunt the most prosperous corridor of the city for decades to come, and there is nothing we can do to fix it at this point. There is nothing we can change, and I've seen some promising things from the people before me, but I am standing here today and seeing nothing has been done, and nothing continues to be done with current projects. I have no more faith, and so this is my last meeting here as a resident of the city of Lansing. After this meeting, I will be moving to Holt, and then hopefully, if everything goes right, by the end of next year, I will be living on the West Coast, and I will be out of this godforsaken state. Goodbye, Lansing.
Thank you. Next is Nicholas Zandy, followed by Linda Appling.
Hello. Of course, know my name. I'm here to speak on the fact that we currently lack a community center in the 2nd Ward, and I think it's been shelved. So I am speaking on that because the fact that we don't have one is actually kind of hindering our effects on actually getting the community together. And I mean, there are a few buildings that could be used, like maybe if, let's say, the city allows it, maybe the clerk's office could also double as a possible community center. That or the Career Quest building could double as a community center, could become a new community center, possibly also for the Information and Technology Department. Again, those are actual considerations that should be made. And I'm saying that because the 2nd Ward lacks that, and the closest thing we have is Fenner with the pavilion. And it's not really good for community meetings because it causes your voice to echo, and because of that, I actually had to raise my own voice at the meeting because the echo was so bad and people couldn't hear each other, especially at a big meeting for the Mod Pods. And even worse, there were no shades of any kind for any of the windows, thus allowing light to shine in way too much and causing people to either go blind temporarily or maybe in some cases permanently, which should not be something that people should have to deal with when they're at a meeting. So because of that, we need to consider an actual community center. And also, because it was brought up and I was a little out of the loop on it, it's the lynch threat that was made to someone who was at this meeting. And quite honestly, that threat should not have been made, and that person definitely should have been fired and definitely should be investigated for making that kind of a death threat towards someone by showing them a noose like that. That is inappropriate and is definitely racist. And to say this as a neighborhood leader myself, like Heath Lowry, I do not allow any kind of bigotry at my neighborhood meetings. If you say or do anything bigoted like that, we will show you the door. Plain and simple. That is, racism like that is wrong and should not be tolerated. And we may have to discuss this at our next neighborhood meeting, so on the 19th, so be aware of that. And that's all I'm going to say, and I'll yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Next, we have Linda Appling, followed by Christy Hemstreet.
Hello, I'm Linda Appling, and I live in the city of Lansing in Eaton County, and I'm here to discuss today the city charter. One, the city charter fails to do away with the mayoral form of government. Other cities, such as Grand Rapids and the city of Ann Arbor, do not have mayors and are well-run cities. They have city managers. Two, the city charter keeps the city attorney under the mayor. The city attorney should be elected office, not an appointed one under the mayor. The state's AG is elected. Three, no provisions exist to rein in the fees for the Board of Water and Light. This is a travesty and continues to impose increasing financial hardship on the residents of Lansing. Four, it fails to address the inequity of selling assets of the city and treatment of residents in Eaton County who have helped pay for these assets. Six, movement of voting to the governor or presidential election days will ensure that city problems are obscured and not discussed thoroughly. It is clear the city charter revision should be voted down by the residents of Lansing. It does nothing to enhance the life in the city or address critical problems. As an aside, previously City Council was criticized for expressing their opinion on the city charter revision. I find this unacceptable. Each council member has the right to state their opinion. No such criticisms were made when the mayor or Chris Swoop stated their opinion. We are a democracy. Free speech is not given up simply because you occupy elected office. To say you have no rights to free speech once elected lays the foundation for dictatorship. And heaven help us, we're too far along that practice already. Okay.
Thank you. Next is Christy Hemstreet, followed by Michael Mercer.
Good evening. I'll give you a quick rundown of my credentials. First off, I am ashamed to have been born in this city. I was born at Sparrow Hospital, October 15th, 1984. Ashamed, embarrassed, disgusted. And I'll tell you why. My friends Avi and Alex their encampments have been bulldozed. They are homeless. Avi is 5 months pregnant. I make $18 an hour working at Pinnacle Dermatology in Okemos, and by filing properly and not committing insurance fraud, I qualify for SNAP EBT benefits. Not cash assistance, but food assistance. Now, I cannot access those benefits, and neither can they. They cannot get food. I cannot afford to support this family. I can't afford to support myself. Okemos High School, class of 2002, I had a 3.8 going into the year, but then 9/11 happened, and one of my friends died in a car accident, so my GPA dropped to 3.33. Lansing Community College, Associates in Chemistry, class of 2007. University of Michigan Dearborn, Biochemistry, class of 2010. 10 credits towards a master's in medicine at Wayne State University School of Medicine. Now, those are my credentials. So I don't want to live in this city. I don't want to live in this state. I'm extremely embarrassed that the fact that the city has bulldozed these people's houses where the Bible says, love thy neighbor, does it not? I would appreciate eye contact from everyone when people are talking. Is that okay? Can we get that? Okay, thanks. Thank you. So the city sued 2 private property owners in July to force them to evict the people living on their land near Dietrich Park. Homeless advocates have harshly criticized that action, such as myself. I'm a homeless advocate, as I was nearly homeless because my apartment flooded on March 3rd at College Town. They didn't provide me with temporary housing. It was sewage, overflowing toilet water in my home. They did not provide me with any temporary housing. I had to go stay with my parents. And then they would also not lower my rent from, first it was $909 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Then they raised it to $1,010. So if you haven't heard, the rent is too damn high. The rent's too damn high. You're bulldozing encampments where people are trying to live in tents in the middle of fall, which is going to be winter soon. I'm not even warm enough with my fancy North Face jacket and a long sleeve shirt and scrubs. Not even warm enough outside right now. So I don't know what you're going to do about it, but something needs to happen. Otherwise, you're going to see me every single week here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Michael Mercer, followed by Darren Kay. Michael here? Okay, Darren Kay.
Darren, First Ward, housing security, gendered violence, disability rights, racial justice, and queer safety are all branches of the same issue. I'd like to thank you for at the last meeting when you made Lansing an LGBTQ welcoming city. Current solutions for crime here in Lansing are not with community first initiatives that prevent the circumstances that lead to crime, but with increased policing, surveillance, and the surrendering of firearms. Lansing PD is still relentlessly sweeping the unhoused. For those of you who have ever read a history book or studied the history of any marginalized group, you may be well aware that anytime an area experiences over-policing and disarmament, marginalized groups are massacred. Easy examples are Wounded Knee or the Jewish people prior to the Holocaust. Many of our strictest gun laws come from the NRA and Ronald Reagan attempting to disarm Black people specifically. These initiatives are white supremacist at their core, and they do not solve crime nor keep anyone safe. They make us afraid while putting us at further risk of violence. Presently, many people fear that the Ave, Strange Matter, or other queer safe businesses in Lansing becoming the next Pulse, but nobody talks about the second tragedy of the Pulse massacre. For one victim, his family wouldn't accept his body back out of shame. Others had their families fall apart with mixed reactions. For some of those who were injured and survived, their families disowned them. Some of them lost their jobs or their houses. For many of us, we are more likely to experience hate from those closest to us, our families, myself included. I am especially concerned about the safety of our youth, who may not live long enough to even be able to go places like the Avenue to begin with. When our families do not understand nor accept us, we face violence in our homes. We are controlled, beaten, and harassed. We are thrown on the street, or we run away from abuse. We learn to hate ourselves. We may struggle with substance issues to survive. We suffer from trauma, anxiety, self-harm, and suicidality. We become disabled. Our bodies and our obituaries are dehumanized in our deaths. Our safety is further under threat with the current federal government. I wrote to President Cost about this, but we've both been too busy to continue the conversation. I implore you to use your powers as our city government to facilitate the following. Ending any support for organizations that discriminate, such as City Rescue Mission. Help facilitate funding and support for a building for a place for us. Establish queer-led addiction and recovery support, the creation of a local LGBTQ-specific crisis hotline that does not call the police, sponsoring family support systems for when a family doesn't know how to respond to their queer relative. I understand some of these things may not be able to come from you directly, but there are organizations that you can collaborate with in order to make things happen. I also want to say that the lynching threat was unacceptable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That was our final speaker.
We are adjourned at 8:35.